Have you ever feel shy about talking about this sex? Or do you feel some kind of strangeness while listening to sex? This morning we'll talk about sex education. What is sex education? It is one of the most delicate subject where nobody would talk openly. But this is the big mistakes in our society we did not talking about this sex education. So I'll tell you about sex education, some of the most important thing why we should talk about sex education. Most of the parents think that this sex education should be taught in the schools, while the schools think that this should be taught by the parents. Both it is a debatable subject as it is a delicate subject. When human beings attains a puberty or when we are adult, this is a thing we should know. What is sex education? We need sex education because we have to prevent ourselves from a disease which is called STD, sexually transmitted disease, or which is called HIV, AIDS, which is one of the most dangerous disease which doesn't have cure. And as a whole, if we look in India, the Indian government recommend teaching sex educations to the youth because the India is having this HIV positive a year day by day, increasing the effective person, the person who have HIV increase year by year. So this is the main reason why the Indian government encourage this sex education to be taught to the youth. So this is the most delicate subject. So, but each and every individual should have the responsibility to have this education to be teach or to be learned. We have the responsibility to teach to our younger ones or to learn from the older ones. So in times these sex educations should be shifted to health education, as the Indian parents mindset or the society mindset, I have to say, is a kind of fishy, as they think that by meaning this sex education they think something which is fishy or something which is very strange. But according to the Western culture, this sex education is a must. Even the children or even the youngest one, they know what is sex education. By meaning sex education, it doesn't mean that the education which should be having a sexual intercourse or something else, but sex education means the health which prevent us from having it. So even the Western cultures doesn't feel shy or doesn't shy talking about this education. They are wellly prevented or wellly educated in this. But as Indian culture or as the Indian society are shy in nature, they are shy to talk about these educations to their child, or parents are even shy to talk about this education in front of their families. This should not be the case, which if we think that it is very important subject, we have to have a courage to talk about this in front of everyone. Although it might not be open, but we can talk to everyone, even to the youngest one and even to the oldest one. So each and every one of us has the responsibility to learn and to teach. So we should know the importance of this sex education to prevent ourselves, to keep us safe from a disease. Thank you.